Seeing the 22 minutes gameplay video of the upcoming game Phantom Blade Zero blew my mind away. I have to be honest with you, I just didn't expect this to be that good. Now I just want to tackle something because the first thing I actually searched is whether it's a Souls-like game. Now not many people throw the Souls-like name like almost in any action RPG. Is it Souls-like? It is Souls-like, and some people agree, some people disagree. So I saw a video on GameSpot, and then the CEO himself says this is not a Souls-like game. So the CEO described the game as a playable kung fu movie that combines elements from various genres. They aim to rediscover the golden age of Chinese kung fu movies from the 70s and bring back the vibes and game design philosophies from the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 eras, but with modern technology. But in terms of map exploration, it's going to be similar to Souls-like games. There's also be shortcuts, for example, that you can unlock. I actually seen this in the gameplay. It's going to be fast-paced combat, combo-driven action inspired by games like Devil May Cry and Ninja Gaiden. It's going to be narrative and atmosphere that draws its inspiration from titles like Resident Evil and Silent Hill. And you also mentioned that it's not even an hack and slash game, but a unique blend of different genres. It's an action RPG with various RPG systems under development, including stat improvement, resistances, new traversal mechanics and equipment, and the game will also feature side quests that influence multiple endings, providing strong RPG elements, as mentioned in the video and the interview with GameSpot. Again, with Souls-like, there's kind of more methodical gameplay, sometimes even slower, but not always. But there's punishment for death, and also when you interact with shrines, enemies respawn again. Of course, high difficulty with no difficulty settings, and of course, punishing death mechanics. So if players die, they lose form of currency or experience points. And this is something that players need to watch out before they die. Pay attention to environmental hazards before engaging with certain enemies and bosses to maximize the potential of leveling up. They are usually also more cryptic in nature, and they carry dark fantasy settings and also emphasis on player skill and learning. So I have a feeling that this kind of borrows something from Souls-like, but it's not a Souls-like game in its nature. Gonna be some inspiration, but again, not just from Souls-like, but from other games. But what really made me realize this is such an amazing game is this particular part. So look here, this I think demonstrates what we can expect to see in this game. This is such a high quality boss fight. I never seen something like that. The way that you see the different enemies here and the way the boss kind of interacts with the other NPCs. Look just how he kind of jumps on them, and in terms of movement, and it's just something that you don't see in many action RPG games, not in Souls-like. It looks so unique. And second stage is even more incredible. I mean, the mobility, the unique mechanic here. Look at that. This just shows you the creativity of the developer designing boss fight that really feel fresh, unique. This is just something on another level. I mean, gameplay wise. So if this is what they're showing, just imagine what other bosses we can expect with unique mechanics, movement, all the crazy stuff they can create if there's such a really great creativity making such an amazing looking boss fight. Also the UI, although simplistic, really beautifully implemented here. You can easily switch between different weapons, see the combos straight away, as it should be. And I also pay attention to the sound effects. I also was blown away how good the sound effects were. Usually, again, there are fewer games that I say, all right, the sound effects are amazing. Usually, the sound effects. It was just mind-blowing. This, I think, inspired by Elden Ring. Speaking of Elden Ring, by the way, I've also seen something here. When I look at the sky and I see the color, Elden Ring brought something that I haven't seen mentioned in many reviews, where they really play crazy with some color palettes. And for example, in certain areas, you just color the water, for example, in purple, the sky kind of yellowish, not here again in Elden Ring. So it creates something that fantasy-like, different, not something that appears natural. So it's really kind of appeal to the fantasy environment. But also in this game, I noticed this as well. It seems like kind of combined. It's a mix between kind of something natural, same as Elden Ring, by the way. So I have a feeling they got lots of inspiration from various popular games in the genre, including Souls-like, and we're going to see it in this game. I think this game is going to have a huge appeal for both who love Souls-like, because I think the game will be challenging and skill-based. but also for those who like games like hack and slash and flashy combat and fast-moving combat like in Final Fantasy, Devil May Cry, Ninja Gaiden, and so on. So I think it has a huge crowd that it try to appease, and I think it will. Yeah, by the way, you can see the color, for example, of the sky. No, I think I'm going to play it later with more colors. I just have a feeling where, it's really important. In Elden Ring, you feel like you are in a fantasy land. It's something different. Some things are familiar, of course, but it's going to be something that is just, you are in a foreign land. I don't think it's going to be as cryptic as Soulsborne games, but it going to has its own, unique, mysterious, and a very eerie atmosphere. Now, this is another example. Look how he actually jumps on the weapon. The way you actually there's so many interactions here that just with the animations. Look at that. He jumps now on the weapon, on top of the enemy, and slash him. It's crazy. So this is kind of, style Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, some crazy stuff that, you usually don't see something like that in Soulslike games. And there are so many different weapons with unique mechanics. All makes everything just look so appealing. You have very fast weapon and also slow weapons, like this is kind of like, I think, a great sword type of weapon. And I want to say that something like that I actually saw in watching Fallen Feathers, where they got inspired. Also a game that you clearly see, especially if you play lots of Souls game and action RPG games, you see inspiration from so many other popular games. It's just so obvious. So here I also felt when I watched the gameplay that it's kind of similar and there are lots of inspirations in from other games. But it really felt that it's kind of all on its own when it comes to creativity. I have a feeling this is going to be on completely different level than one that we've seen so far in any game in the past. I have a feeling this is going to be on another level. So Phantom Blade Zero is scheduled for release in fall 2026 and will be available on PC and PlayStation 5. I'm super hyped. I don't know about you. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.